Listen to me now, because this could change the way you live your life. You see, deep down inside each of us, there's this voice, this gut feeling that tells us when something's off or when we're on to something real. We all have it. Call it intuition, call it instinct, call it whatever you want. But that voice, that feeling, it's there for a reason. And too many people ignore it. Too many people shove it down, walk away, pretend they don't hear it. But today I'm here to tell you about 4 gut instincts that you should never ignore. Intuition is often called our sixth sense, a natural ability we all possess yet sometimes overlook. It's that subtle inner feeling that tells us when something is right or wrong, safe or risky. Unlike logic or reason, intuition doesn't come with charts or explanations. It arrives as a quiet, instinctual nudge. Many people ignore these nudges because they don't have tangible proof, but intuition can be one of the most powerful tools we have. In life, not everything is visible on the surface, and intuition acts as our built-in radar, detecting things that our conscious mind might miss. Learning to trust this radar rather than dismissing it can save us from making choices that go against our well-being. We live in a world that often prioritizes logic and data over feeling and instinct. We're taught from a young age to seek out proof and explanations, to have reasons for everything we do. But the truth is, not every feeling can be explained, and not every decision can be justified by facts alone. Sometimes we simply know. That deep knowing, even without evidence, is intuition at work. When you sense something is off or feel uncomfortable about a situation, your intuition is picking up signals your mind can't fully process. Ignoring these signals can leave you vulnerable, as they're often the first defense against situations or people that may not have your best interests at heart. Intuition is your body's way of keeping you safe, often before you even know there's a risk. Think about it. How many times have you felt an inexplicable urge to avoid a person, place, or situation? Perhaps you've had an odd feeling before making a decision that didn't feel right, but you went ahead with it anyway, only to regret it later. In those moments, you likely look back and think, I knew it. That knowing is intuition, and the more we learn to recognize it, the stronger it becomes. Like any skill, intuition strengthens with use. By choosing to trust it, you allow it to grow, and eventually, it becomes your most reliable defense. When we consider intuition as our first line of defense, we begin to make different choices. Instead of waiting for something to go wrong, we can proactively avoid situations that don't feel right. It's like being able to steer clear of storms before they fully form. This doesn't mean avoiding every risk, but it does mean tuning in to those signals that tell you when something doesn't align with your well-being. Listening to intuition helps us avoid unnecessary heartache, conflicts, and even danger. It acts as an early warning system, one that operates quietly in the background until we choose to pay attention. Another reason to trust intuition is that it aligns with our subconscious mind, the part of ourselves that processes vast amounts of information without us even realizing it. While the conscious mind may only focus on what's directly in front of it, the subconscious collects subtle cues from the environment, body language, tone of voice, and even past experiences stored deep in our memory. This information then bubbles up as intuition, a warning or encouragement from within. So when intuition speaks, it's often informed by far more data than we're aware of. Trusting it means trusting that your subconscious knows more than you can consciously understand. Fear and self-doubt are often the main reasons people ignore their intuition. They second-guess themselves, worrying about looking foolish or making the wrong choice. But intuition doesn't come from fear, it comes from a place of internal wisdom. When you're truly in tune with it, intuition has a calm, steady presence that transcends anxiety or doubt. It doesn't rush or panic, it simply points you in the right direction. Learning to distinguish between fear and intuition is key. Intuition isn't about avoidance or anxiety, it's about an inner sense of knowing what is best, a sense that often lacks words but feels undeniably clear. One of the most empowering aspects of trusting your intuition is that it allows you to take control of your life. Instead of waiting for proof or relying solely on the opinions of others, you start to build a sense of confidence and autonomy. You become less dependent on outside validation because you understand that the answers you need are often already within you. This doesn't mean dismissing advice or disregarding facts, but it does mean placing equal value on your own feelings and impressions. Trusting your intuition fosters self-reliance and reminds you that you don't need anyone else to tell you what's right for you. You already know. Many of life's biggest decisions require us to look beyond logic and reason. Relationships, career paths, and personal growth journeys are all areas where intuition plays a powerful role. You might not have hard evidence that a certain job or partnership is wrong, but if your gut tells you something isn't right, that feeling deserves respect. Similarly, if you're drawn toward a particular path without knowing exactly why, your intuition might be guiding you toward a purpose that your mind hasn't yet realized. Trusting this process can open doors to opportunities and experiences that you might have otherwise overlooked. A powerful way to strengthen your intuition is to create moments of quiet in your life. In a world full of distractions, it's easy to lose touch with that inner voice. Daily practices like meditation, journaling, or simply spending time alone allow you to tune in and hear yourself more clearly. In silence, your mind relaxes, your thoughts slow down, and that subtle voice of intuition becomes easier to recognize. These moments of introspection don't just increase your self-awareness, they also make you more resilient, more in tune with yourself, and more capable of making decisions that align with your true path. Trusting your intuition is about honoring yourself. It's about valuing your own experiences, wisdom, and inner guidance as much as you value external advice or data. In a world that often encourages us to look outward, intuition reminds us to look inward. It encourages us to respect the knowledge that's already within us, a knowledge that grows stronger with time and trust. There comes a moment in everyone's life when they feel a strong pull, an undeniable urge to step into something new, something exciting yet uncertain. It may come as a whisper in the back of your mind or a feeling that starts as a gentle nudge and grows louder until you can't ignore it. This feeling, this inner pull, is often your intuition calling you toward growth, toward change. It's a push to take a leap of faith, to trust in the unknown, and to believe in possibilities that haven't yet unfolded. When you feel this pull, it's not something to dismiss. It's a sign that you're ready for something greater, even if it means stepping into uncharted territory. Many people resist taking this leap because of fear and doubt. The comfort zone is just that, comfortable. It's familiar and predictable, a place where we feel safe from failure or rejection. But staying there comes at a cost. The longer we remain rooted in what's familiar, the more we miss out on experiences that could bring fulfillment and purpose. Often the things we desire most are on the other side of our fears. So, when you feel that strong pull, that yearning for something more, it's an opportunity to confront those fears head on. Recognize that the pull exists for a reason, that your spirit is calling you to expand beyond the boundaries you've created for yourself. Taking the leap when you feel a strong pull isn't about being reckless, it's about trusting in the process of growth. Growth is rarely comfortable, and it doesn't come with guarantees. There's always the chance that things may not go as planned, that you might face setbacks or disappointments. But these experiences are part of the journey. They teach resilience, courage, and the ability to adapt. When you honor the pull to step forward, you're not just taking a risk, you're allowing yourself to evolve. You're giving yourself permission to pursue what feels right, even if the road isn't fully clear. This act of trust can become the foundation for a life of purpose. One of the biggest obstacles people face when they feel a strong pull is the need for certainty. We live in a world that values security and stability, where people are encouraged to have a plan and to stick to it. But sometimes the path that's meant for us doesn't come with a clear map. It requires us to trust that things will work out as we go along. When you feel that inner pull, it's a call to let go of the need to know every detail and instead focus on taking that first step. Often it's only after we take that leap that the path starts to reveal itself, one step at a time. Listening to that pull requires self-belief. It requires you to trust that you are capable, that you have what it takes to navigate the unknown. Self-doubt can be loud, telling you that you're not ready, that you need more preparation or more time. But that pull is often a sign that you're ready, even if you don't feel like it. When you choose to listen to it, you're making a commitment to yourself and your potential. You're acknowledging that you are enough as you are, that you don't need to wait for the perfect time or be the perfect person to begin. By taking the leap, you're embracing your own growth. The pull we feel comes with a vision of what could be. It might be a dream job, a new passion, a relationship, or a place we've always wanted to visit. That vision is powerful. It gives us a glimpse of a life that's possible if we're willing to take the chance. Holding on to that vision, letting it motivate and inspire us, can be a driving force that helps us overcome the fear of uncertainty. When you focus on the potential for growth, joy, and purpose, the fears become smaller and the leap becomes less daunting. It's about shifting your focus from what could go wrong to what could go right. It's important to remember that taking a leap doesn't mean abandoning caution entirely. Trusting the pull doesn't mean ignoring practical considerations. It means balancing them with faith. Taking a leap with intention allows you to approach the unknown with a sense of readiness. Plan what you can, prepare in ways that feel right, but don't let the need for control keep you from moving forward. The leap requires both courage and a willingness to trust that even if the outcome isn't what you expected, the journey itself will bring value. Each step forward teaches you something new, helping you build resilience, adaptability, and strength. The pull they feel is connected to a deeper calling, something that aligns with their purpose. When we feel drawn towards something meaningful, it's often because it resonates with who we are at our core. Listening to this call isn't just about taking a leap, it's about honoring our truth, our passions, and our dreams. It's about aligning our actions with our deepest values and aspirations. Following this pull allows us to live more authentically, to create a life that reflects our true selves rather than the expectations of others. When you take that leap, you're giving yourself permission to live in alignment with what feels right for you. Taking the leap also builds confidence. Each time you choose to trust yourself, you're strengthening your belief in your own capabilities. It becomes a cycle. You trust yourself enough to leap, you experience growth, and that growth fuels even greater self-trust. Over time, this cycle transforms you. You begin to see yourself as someone who is capable of navigating change, someone who doesn't need all the answers to take action. This confidence isn't about arrogance, it's about a quiet assurance that you can handle whatever comes your way. Energy is one of the most valuable resources we have. It affects how we feel, how we interact with the world, and how much we can accomplish. Yet we often overlook the importance of protecting our energy from people who drain it. Draining people come in many forms: those who constantly criticize, those who thrive on negativity, or those who take without giving. They may not even realize the impact they're having on others, but their presence can leave us feeling depleted, discouraged, and stressed. Recognizing who these people are in our lives is the first step in protecting our energy and maintaining our well-being. One way to identify draining people is by paying attention to how you feel after spending time with them. Do you feel energized, uplifted, and inspired, or do you feel exhausted, anxious, and weighed down? People who drain your energy often leave you feeling depleted, even after short interactions. This isn't about being judgmental, it's about being honest with yourself. Energy-draining people tend to bring negativity into every situation, focusing on problems rather than solutions and finding fault in almost everything. When you're constantly exposed to this kind of energy, it can start to wear on you, affecting your mood, your outlook, and even your health. Draining people often come with their own unresolved issues, and they may project these onto others. They may have a habit of unloading their problems without considering how it affects those around them. While it's normal to lean on friends and loved ones during difficult times, draining people rarely reciprocate the same support. They tend to prioritize their needs over yours, creating an imbalance in the relationship. Over time, this imbalance can make you feel like you're carrying a weight that isn't yours to bear. Recognizing this pattern can be empowering. as it reminds you that you don't have to be the emotional dumping ground for others. Boundaries are essential when dealing with energy-draining people. Without boundaries, we leave ourselves open to being pulled into situations and emotions that aren't ours to manage. Setting boundaries is not about being unkind, it's about protecting your peace and mental health. It's okay to say no when someone's demands are too much. It's okay to limit your time with people who leave you feeling drained. Boundaries allow you to create space between yourself and others' negativity, ensuring that you aren't absorbing energy that doesn't serve you. When you establish clear boundaries, you're telling others and yourself that your well-being matters. One of the most challenging aspects of dealing with draining people is that they're often people we care about deeply: family, close friends, or coworkers. It can feel uncomfortable or even guilt-inducing to distance yourself from these individuals. However, protecting your energy doesn't mean cutting people off completely. It means being selective about the interactions you have. Spend time with those who respect your boundaries and who understand the importance of a balanced, mutual relationship. This selective approach to relationships helps you maintain a positive mindset and prevents you from being overwhelmed by the needs or negativity of others. Another way to recognize draining people is by observing their attitude toward growth and positivity. People who drain energy are often resistant to change and closed off to new perspectives. They may reject solutions to their problems and prefer to stay in a cycle of negativity. Trying to lift or inspire them can feel like a constant uphill battle. Instead of uplifting each other, the relationship can become one-sided, with you pouring energy into someone who isn't open to growth or positivity. Recognizing this pattern helps you understand when to step back and conserve your energy for those who are open to change and self-improvement. Protecting your energy also involves acknowledging your own limits. We all have a finite amount of emotional and mental energy each day, and spending too much of it on draining people can leave you with little left for yourself. This can lead to burnout, stress, and even physical symptoms. By recognizing when someone is consistently depleting your energy, you give yourself permission to prioritize your own needs. Self-care isn't selfish, it's necessary. Taking time for yourself, engaging in activities that recharge you, and surrounding yourself with positive influences can replenish your energy and strengthen your ability to set healthy boundaries. Another important aspect of protecting your energy is being mindful of the conversations you engage in. Draining people often steer discussions toward gossip, complaints, or pessimistic topics, creating a negative atmosphere that can be hard to escape. By limiting these kinds of conversations, you can prevent their negativity from influencing your mood. Politely changing the subject, redirecting the conversation, or simply excusing yourself from it can help you maintain a positive state of mind. Protecting your energy isn't just about avoiding people, it's also about being intentional with your interactions and steering conversations in a direction that supports your mental and emotional well-being. Awareness is key when it comes to recognizing draining people. Often we're so used to certain dynamics that we don't realize how they're affecting us. Taking a step back to evaluate your relationships can provide valuable insights. Notice who consistently leaves you feeling better and who leaves you feeling worse. This awareness allows you to make conscious choices about who you spend your time with. It also helps you to detach from the idea that you need to please everyone. You don't owe anyone your energy, and it's okay to invest it in relationships that nurture and support you in return. Protecting your energy by recognizing draining people is about cultivating a life that feels balanced, fulfilling, and aligned with your values. It's about being intentional with who and what you allow into your inner circle. The people you surround yourself with should add to your life, not take from it. When you start to protect your energy, you'll notice a shift. You'll feel lighter, more at peace, and more in control of your emotions and choices. This is the kind of life that allows you to thrive, one where you're surrounded by people who respect your boundaries and share in your journey toward growth and positivity. Knowing when to walk away is one of the hardest lessons life teaches us. We grow attached to people, places, and circumstances, and often find ourselves holding on long after we should have let go. Walking away isn't about giving up or admitting defeat. It's about recognizing that certain situations no longer serve our growth, happiness, or well-being. It takes immense courage to admit that something is no longer right for us. But this honesty with ourselves is the first step toward finding peace and fulfillment. Understanding when to walk away means valuing yourself enough to leave behind what's holding you back. Staying in a situation out of loyalty or habit becomes more painful than leaving. We stay in relationships, jobs, or commitments out of a sense of obligation or fear of change, but deep down we know when something isn't working. Over time, this inner knowing creates a tension that grows until it's almost impossible to ignore. We start feeling drained, anxious, or unhappy. These feelings are often signs that it's time to move on, and they're worth listening to. By ignoring them, we risk staying stuck in situations that prevent us from evolving into the person we're meant to become. Walking away often comes with a sense of loss, but it's important to remember that endings are a natural part of life. Every ending makes space for a new beginning. It's easy to view walking away as losing something, but in reality, we're gaining the freedom to pursue opportunities that align with who we are now. Change can be uncomfortable, but it's necessary for growth. When we walk away, we're creating room for new relationships, experiences, and dreams that might bring us closer to our true potential. This shift in perspective helps us see leaving as an act of self-respect rather than abandonment. One of the biggest challenges when it comes to walking away is the fear of the unknown. We often stay in familiar, comfortable places because we fear what lies ahead. The idea of starting over or of being alone can be overwhelming. However, staying in a situation that no longer brings joy or meaning often leads to a deeper unhappiness. It's only by stepping into the unknown that we allow ourselves to discover what truly fulfills us. Embracing uncertainty can be empowering as it opens the door to possibilities we may never have considered. Trusting that something better is waiting allows us to let go with grace. There's also a societal expectation that staying and enduring is a virtue, while leaving is seen as a failure. We're told that commitment is a sign of strength, but sometimes walking away requires more courage than staying. Choosing to leave a situation that's not serving us means putting our own well-being above external expectations or pressures. It's about redefining success and realizing that our happiness doesn't depend on fitting into society's narrative. When we walk away, we're prioritizing our own needs, a choice that requires resilience and self-assurance. This isn't a sign of weakness, it's a testament to our strength and self-respect. Walking away can be particularly challenging when others don't understand our decision. Friends, family, or colleagues may question why we're leaving, especially if the reasons are personal or not immediately visible to them. Explaining our choice can be difficult, as some people may never fully understand our perspective. This is where self-trust becomes essential. We need to stand firm in our decision and remember that only we know what's truly right for us. Validation doesn't have to come from others, it comes from listening to our intuition and honoring our own feelings. Walking away is an act of trusting ourselves over external opinions. Letting go also involves releasing the past and accepting what we can't change. Often we hold on to situations because of the time and energy we've invested. We think about what could have been and cling to the hope that things might improve. But staying attached to a past version of reality prevents us from embracing the present and future. Walking away means releasing any resentment, disappointment, or regret tied to the situation. By doing so, we free ourselves from emotional burdens and open ourselves up to new experiences. This kind of release is essential for healing and allows us to move forward with a clear mind. As we walk away, we learn to trust that everything we need is within us. Leaving behind something familiar forces us to rely on our inner strength, resilience, and adaptability. In doing so, we discover parts of ourselves that we may not have known existed. This self-discovery is one of the greatest rewards of letting go. It teaches us that our worth and happiness aren't tied to any particular person, place, or job. We are enough just as we are, and we have the power to create a fulfilling life on our terms. Walking away can be a profound journey towards self-reliance and inner peace. Walking away also teaches us about the value of boundaries. When we choose to leave a situation that's no longer healthy, we're establishing a boundary that says, I deserve better. Boundaries are essential for protecting our energy, mental health, and overall well-being. By choosing to walk away, we're reinforcing our commitment to respect and care for ourselves. This boundary setting isn't just about avoiding harm, it's about actively choosing environments, relationships, and situations that nourish and uplift us. It's about creating a life where we feel safe, valued, and fulfilled. Establishing these boundaries is a powerful act of self-love. Walking away gives us the freedom to define our own path. It's a declaration that we are responsible for our own happiness and growth. By letting go, we're choosing to follow our own intuition and align with our true desires. This isn't about running away from challenges, but about pursuing a life that resonates with who we are. Our instincts are among the most reliable guides we have, often leading us toward choices and paths that are aligned with our deepest needs and values. When we respect our instincts, we acknowledge a form of wisdom that is intuitive, subtle, and powerful. These instincts are not just random feelings, they are messages from our inner self, pointing us toward what's right for us. They often show up as gut feelings, a sense of knowing that's difficult to explain yet hard to ignore. Respecting these instincts can be transformative, helping us navigate life with a sense of purpose and fulfillment. We overlook our instincts in favor of logic, reason, or the opinions of others. In a world that emphasizes rational thinking, instincts are sometimes dismissed as unreliable or impulsive. But instincts are a different kind of intelligence, one that's deeply rooted in our experiences, values, and sense of self. By learning to respect and trust this form of guidance, we open ourselves to a life that feels true to who we are. Our instincts are like a compass, pointing us toward situations and relationships that support our well-being and happiness. They can guide us away from harm and help us recognize opportunities that lead to fulfillment. Listening to our instincts is especially important when making decisions that affect our lives in profound ways. Major life choices such as choosing a career, a partner, or a place to live often bring up feelings and sensations that hint at what's best for us. We might feel an inexplicable excitement, or conversely, a deep unease. These feelings are worth paying attention to because they often reveal what we truly want or need. Respecting our instincts during these pivotal moments can prevent us from going down paths that don't serve us, ensuring that we make choices that align with our values and long-term goals. Our instincts are also invaluable in recognizing people who are good for us and those who aren't. We often get a feeling about someone before we fully know them, and while it may seem subtle, it can be quite telling. Maybe we feel a sense of ease around someone, or perhaps we feel tense and uncomfortable. These feelings are signals from our instincts, giving us clues about the dynamics at play. By respecting these signals, we can make choices about who we let into our lives and who we keep at a distance. This helps us cultivate relationships that are supportive and enriching, moving us closer to a fulfilling life. Respecting our instincts means acknowledging our inner truth, even when it's hard to put into words. Sometimes our instincts don't align with what others expect of us, and this can create inner conflict. We may feel the pressure to follow a particular path or live up to certain expectations, even if it doesn't feel right. Respecting our instincts requires courage because it often means going against the grain and making choices that aren't easily understood by others. However, honoring our own truth allows us to build a life that reflects who we genuinely are, rather than who we're expected to be. Instincts are not just about recognizing what's right for us, they also help us avoid what's wrong. Often we feel an instinctive hesitation or discomfort in situations that don't align with our values or desires. This hesitation is our inner guide signaling that something is off. Respecting these feelings and choosing to step away can save us from disappointment or harm. It's easy to ignore these feelings in the moment, especially if the situation seems promising on the surface, but listening to our instincts can protect us from situations that would drain or distract us from our true path. In this way, respecting our instincts is a form of self-protection. Respecting our instincts also means trusting ourselves, even in the face of uncertainty. Life doesn't always provide clear answers, and there are times when we must make choices without knowing all the outcomes. In these moments, our instincts can be a guiding light, helping us navigate ambiguity with confidence. When we learn to trust our instincts, we develop resilience and self-assurance. This trust doesn't eliminate uncertainty, but it gives us the courage to move forward, knowing that we are capable of making the best choices for ourselves. This self-trust is a key component of fulfillment, as it allows us to pursue our desires without being paralyzed by doubt. Another way that respecting our instincts leads to fulfillment is by fostering a sense of alignment between our inner and outer worlds. When we make decisions that reflect our instincts, we create a life that feels cohesive and authentic. We no longer feel the need to conform to others' expectations or live a life that doesn't resonate with us. Instead, we build a life that reflects our values, desires, and goals. This alignment brings a sense of peace and contentment, as we're no longer at odds with ourselves. By respecting our instincts, we allow our lives to unfold in a way that feels true to who we are. Respecting our instincts also helps us live more mindfully. By paying attention to our feelings, reactions, and intuitions, we become more present and aware of our inner world. This mindfulness allows us to respond to situations rather than react impulsively, and it fosters a greater understanding of ourselves. Through this practice, we become more attuned to our desires, fears, and values. We gain clarity about what we want from life and how we wish to engage with the world. Living mindfully, guided by our instincts, helps us appreciate each moment and make choices that are in alignment with our aspirations for fulfillment. Respecting our instincts is about cultivating a deep relationship with ourselves. It's about honoring the wisdom that lies within and valuing our own guidance. When we respect our instincts, we are saying to ourselves, "I trust you." This self-trust is empowering, as it reminds us that we have everything we need within us to create a life of purpose and fulfillment. It reinforces our belief in our own capabilities and affirms our worthiness of a life that brings us joy and meaning. By respecting our instincts, we allow ourselves to live fully and authentically, following a path that feels uniquely ours. Fear is a natural part of the human experience, often surfacing when we step outside of our comfort zones or face the unknown. Rather than viewing fear as an obstacle, it's essential to see it as an opportunity for growth. Embracing fear doesn't mean ignoring or suppressing it, but rather acknowledging its presence and allowing it to guide us toward our full potential. Fear has a way of pointing out areas of untapped potential, showing us what we care about most. When we learn to embrace our fears, we open ourselves up to new experiences and possibilities that we might have otherwise avoided. Too often, fear holds us back from pursuing our dreams or taking risks that could lead to incredible opportunities. We might fear failure, judgment, or the uncertainty that comes with change, and this fear can paralyze us. However, by embracing fear, we shift our mindset from one of avoidance to one of exploration. We begin to see fear as a signal of growth, a sign that we're on the edge of something meaningful. When we approach fear with curiosity rather than resistance, we're able to move past our limitations and begin the journey towards self-discovery and achievement. Embracing fear requires us to reframe our perspective on failure. Many of us fear failure because we see it as a reflection of our worth or capabilities. But failure is not an end, it's a stepping stone on the path to success. Each time we fail, we gain valuable insights, learn what doesn't work, and strengthen our resilience. When we embrace fear, we also embrace the possibility of failure, understanding that it's a part of the process. This shift in perspective allows us to take risks with confidence, knowing that any setbacks we encounter are simply lessons guiding us toward our goals. One of the powerful aspects of embracing fear is that it forces us to confront our insecurities. Fear often brings to light the areas where we doubt ourselves, whether it's our abilities, our worth, or our place in the world. When we avoid fear, these insecurities remain hidden, subtly influencing our actions and limiting our potential. But when we face fear head on, we're able to address these insecurities and work through them. This process is empowering as it enables us to replace self-doubt with self-belief. By embracing fear, we gradually build confidence in ourselves, realizing that we're capable of more than we once thought. Fear can also be a powerful motivator, pushing us to prepare, improve, and excel. When we're afraid, we tend to become more focused, driven, and committed to overcoming the challenge in front of us. Fear heightens our awareness, making us more attentive to detail and encouraging us to put in the extra effort needed to succeed. Embracing fear doesn't mean becoming reckless, it means using fear as fuel to propel us forward. Rather than letting fear paralyze us, we can channel it into a source of motivation that pushes us to reach higher and work harder than we ever have before. Another aspect of embracing fear is that it helps us cultivate resilience. Each time we confront fear and push through it, we build emotional strength and mental fortitude. Overcoming fear teaches us that we're capable of handling discomfort and uncertainty. This resilience is essential for personal growth, as it prepares us to face future challenges with courage and determination. Life is filled with moments of uncertainty and change, and the ability to embrace fear makes us adaptable and resilient. By choosing to face our fears, we develop the strength needed to navigate life's obstacles and setbacks, emerging stronger each time. Embracing fear also opens us up to self-discovery. Fear often reveals what matters most to us, the dreams, values, and desires that lie at the core of who we are. When we run from fear, we may also be running from the things that give our lives meaning. By facing our fears, we gain clarity about our passions and purpose. Fear can serve as a guide, leading us toward experiences that align with our true selves. When we embrace fear, we embark on a journey of self-discovery, learning about our strengths, values, and what we're truly capable of achieving. Choosing to embrace fear can inspire others to do the same. When people see us stepping out of our comfort zones and facing our fears, they're often encouraged to confront their own. Our courage has a ripple effect, empowering those around us to break free from their own limitations. By embracing fear, we become role models of resilience and growth, showing others that it's possible to live boldly and authentically. In this way, our journey of embracing fear not only transforms our own lives, but also has a positive impact on the lives of those around us, creating a culture of courage and self-belief. Embracing fear also helps us develop a sense of humility and gratitude. The process of confronting our fears often humbles us as we come face to face with our vulnerabilities. This humility allows us to appreciate the journey, recognizing that growth and success are built on moments of courage and perseverance. We become grateful for the challenges that push us out of our comfort zones, understanding that they play a crucial role in our personal development. Embracing fear teaches us to value the journey, not just the destination, and to appreciate the small victories along the way. Embracing fear is about unlocking our potential. Fear often marks the boundary between who we are and who we could become. By stepping through this boundary, we're able to access parts of ourselves that we may have never known existed. We discover new strengths, talents, and abilities that were hidden behind the walls of fear. Embracing fear allows us to become the fullest expression of ourselves, reaching levels of achievement and fulfillment that would have been impossible otherwise. By choosing to face our fears, we unlock our potential and step into a life that is rich with purpose, growth, and possibility.